This video intends to highlight some of the resources we have that align to the CREATE standards for harmonizing instruments like piano and guitar. These resources include audio and video recording options, composition tools, curricular resources, as well as teacher-generated lessons and activities. Let's get started. Standard CR1 focuses solely on idea generation. This standard is about imagining. It's brainstorming. We're throwing out ideas and seeing what might be worth developing. We are experimenting. This is the standard being assessed for both the middle school and high school CREATE assessment. While the ultimate goal of creating is a refined, developed, finalized composition, for the purpose of this first standard and the assessment, we are solely focusing on idea generation. That a student simply generates an idea rhythmically, melodically, harmonically, or whether it's premeditated or improvised, is all that we're looking for in this imagine stage. Don't overthink this standard. Support students in providing guidelines or limiting them to a few pitches or rhythms. Limiting students to 1, 4, and 5 chords, or a few diatonic notes, or notes belonging to a scalar pattern such as pentatonic, blues, or other modes, can help reduce the sense of being overwhelmed with too much choice. You'll see in CREATE Standard 2 that the standard highlights the documentation of these melodic, rhythmic, and harmonic ideas through both standard notation and audio or video recording. The purpose here is to capture the ideas so they are not lost so they can be developed over time. I'd encourage you not to turn this into a lesson with an imbalance focused on notation. Surely if the technology existed in Bach's time, he would have had a SoundCloud account and had many recordings of his performances. For audio recording, we should all have the Zoom H6 handy recorder. This can be used by students to document their ideas. Students might also have personal devices like smartphones they can use to capture their work. DAWs like Audacity, Pro Tools, and Adobe Audition should be available to us as well, with Audacity being the most common. Finally, if you have your students registered in SmartMusic, another option would be create an assignment, perhaps one with a long blank staff, which they can use to record themselves and their ideas. So as you can see, no red or green notes would be rendered. However, I do have a recording up here of my performance, and I can listen back to it. So that's one other way in which your students might use technology to record their compositions. And as you can see, I've downloaded that. I've saved it and downloaded it, so it's available for reuse or revisiting. For video recording, students can use the recording feature inside Google Meet to document their ideas. When finished, I stop the recording, and that file will be uploaded to my Google Drive for reference for later. As you can see, there's a variety of technologies that you can use to record your students' creations. Keep in mind that some of them might compress the file to save space, and that might result in a loss in quality of the video stream or the audio stream. But that's okay, because remember, the goal here for CREATE Standard number 2 is simply to preserve those draft and developing ideas so they're not lost. We want to make sure that we remember what kind of neat melodic idea we came up with, as those can easily be forgotten the next time we revisit. So the purpose here is to preserve those drafts, not necessarily to provide a final copy. Of course, if you're going for a final copy for the third standard when you present these ideas or you perform them, you probably do want to think about the quality of the technology you're using for that final performance or final presentation. SmartMusic has a compose feature available for every student who is linked to your accounts. I simply go up to this ice cube tray and choose the compose feature. You can choose from a template, and this is great if you want to do multiple staves, perhaps a small ensemble arrangement, or you can do quick creation, which is just a single line. It gives you like 40 measures to start out with. And all you do is simply, choose your rhythm, choose your note, drag it down here, drop it where you want. And you've got some melodic ideas there already. You can use the backspace key to delete selections. There's a little bit of learning curve here, but it is an option that all of our students have. They can also export their creation as a PDF or as an XML. So say you want to develop it even further in a more robust program like Sibelius, you can export as an XML. You can also make this open up in SmartMusic as an assignment that they can record themselves playing over top of. Please do know that of all the options they have, I did not see one that allows for tablature notation, but that's okay. I mean, you can at least do a treble clef or a grand staff or piano for basic creations. For standard CR3, we are putting on the final touches. As you can see over here in the process component, it says we're evaluating and refining. Here is a great place to have students really consider their intentions. I'll share a fairly comprehensive article on considerations provided by Berklee. Some noteworthy ideas and questions for students to ponder might be, why are you writing this piece? In what key or tonal center will you start? Are you going to use white keys on the piano, black keys, F sharp, G flat, pentatonic? Are you going to use no sharps and flats on the guitar? How do you want to think about that? How long is your creation going to be? Is it going to be 2 bars, 4 bars, 8 or more? 12-bar blues? Something to go with that? Will your composition have a form? Is there going to be an A section and a B section, a verse and a chorus perhaps? Or is it going to be a single phrase or more than one? Is your melody moving stepwise or is it jumping all over the place? Is it singable? Will your harmony be block chords or will it be arpeggiated? Are notes in the melody present in the accompanying harmonic structure? These kinds of questions and more are some things to think about when you look at CR3. And then finally, of course, the final standard is you're presenting this final product to an audience, whether it's performing it or sharing it in a video form or perhaps notated form in a PDF. But don't overthink this one either. It's just a matter of sharing it. Performance, I think, would be best, but having Sibelius play it back or SmartMusic play it back would be appropriate too. So I hope this video has been helpful to you and generated some ideas on how you might approach the create process in your guitar or piano classes. As always, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to your ISS or your colleagues and share ideas and successes you've had in approaching this part of the standards. I hope this is helpful. Thanks for watching.